respected Muralidharan ji, Vineet ji, Advaita ji, and my young friend Shri ji, dear friends who have assembled here today. First of all, a hearty welcome to Indian Institute of Mass Communication. They say that a picture is worth more than 1,000 words. And when Sridhatan came to me and we discussed this contest, we felt that at Indian Institute of Mass Communication, the last 2.5 years ever since I took charge, we were confining ourselves to just journalism. And we had decided to turn this into a communication hub. We have given a major push to language journalism. From last year, we have tied up with Film and Television Institute of India, and now we are having, right now also today you will see a lot of youngsters, we are having courses in digital cinematography, fiction writing for television, screen acting. So we are expanding the horizons of mass communication, not limiting it to, just the journalism part of it. Last year, when the Chitra Bharati Film Festival was held, our students participated in that and won the first prize in acting, and also 3 of our documentaries for the first time, were selected. So when Sridhatan came to me and told me that now we are going to have this contest in photography, I thought that this is very important, because photography is an art which can remain etched in your memory for a long time to come. I still have some of the, memories of some of the stories. The visual that comes to my mind when somebody talks about Vietnam War, naked girl running away, in the midst of American bombing. That is the first image of Vietnam War that comes to my mind. So is the case with so many things, so many incidents. I still remember, maybe I was in college at that time, we had these Bangladeshi, illegal migrants who had killed a couple of our BSF soldiers, and they were being carried on the, shoulders. That is an image, that will remain etched. So you may forget stories, but images will always be there in your mind. So that is the impact of photography. And Indus scroll, I am surprised to know when the anchor said that you are going to celebrate 1 year. I feel that you have been here for a pretty long time. I think that's the kind of impact Indus scroll has made, in the intellectual arena. And I must say that what Indus scroll has always done is to put across the alternative perspective. That's very important. That the other side of the coin, the other side of the story. Because as Advaita also said, a particular narrative is always floated, and the counter narrative is missing. And that is where I think Indus scroll has played a critical role. So building up a counter narrative, and also a narrative that is truthful, that is objective, that is being put across. And that is what the USP of Indus scroll is all about. And I'm really happy to note that within 1 year, Indus scroll has taken this initiative of, hosting a national level, photo competition. So because photograph is something that can, transcend the technology in media. So a photograph is very important in print media, it's equally important in electronic media, and of course it is the most important in the social media. So you just imagine a Facebook or a Twitter handle just having text, and just compare the kind of likes or sharing that a photograph would get as against what just text would get. So that is the impact of a photograph. So you transcend technology. That is the beauty of photographs. And today, in an era when journalists, this is the era of citizen journalists. The ordinary citizen is carrying very important stories. Advaita referred to, the Kavadia narrative. I mean, I saw some, videos in which you have the cowards, one coward actually carrying both his parents on his shoulder. I think that there cannot be a greater counter narrative to this narrative which is being put across of the Kavadiyas as vandals, and so I think that is a stronger narrative. So my parents have always taught me that don't try to reduce a line by erasing it, but draw a bigger line. And I think that that's what Indus Scroll has been doing, and that's what we all should be doing. That putting a counter narrative that is much more credible, which is much more visible, which is much more accurate and truthful. And that's what I believe the USP should be. And I wish to add here that, so I felt that at IIMC, we need to, support this initiative, because we are also giving a lot of importance to, photography. And as I said, some of the recent photographs that I will remember, I mean, they are very, yesterday I was seeing a photograph, and I think that speaks. You have these Northeast, young girls from Northeast who are now the SWAT commandos of Delhi police and who have been deployed for this Independence Day. I mean, smart girls with all those automatic weapons, and holding, and I think that gives a lot of, in one photograph, it can tell you about this entire narrative of Northeast being discriminated against. That goes for a toss. The entire narrative of, women being India being the most unsafe country in the world for women, that goes for a toss. So in one photograph, you demolish so many narratives. Another narrative about the change in time, that how our country has progressed, was about a fortnight back. There was this special, Air India flight in which you have a mother. It is her retirement day, and she is retiring as air hostess, and that flight was commanded by her daughter, a young pilot, and you had this photograph of the mother in an air hostess attire and the daughter in a pilot's uniform. I think that there cannot be a more beautiful photograph which talks about the generational change, which talks about the change in the country from where a woman was seen basically as providing service to somebody who can command an aircraft. That is, I think, the beauty of photographs. What is the kind of messaging that can be done? And I'm sure that this photographic event will encourage a lot of youngsters to take to photography. Now you have this mobile phones, which can really make you, if not professional, but certainly amateur photograph. Today even many channels are using Samsung cameras for the recording purpose. So I'm sure that Indus Scroll would also not just have this competition, but also work the government's program of skill development. Photography as a skill we can have workshops, and IIMC would be happy to host such a workshop in collaboration with Indus Scroll, and I would be delighted to invite the award winners to take classes there. And friends, last but not the least, as I said, that Indus has played an important role not just in exposing fake news but also fake people. That's very important. And already my friend Vineet Goenka ji has already spoken about in detail about fake news. So I would not like to, but certainly yes, I would invite all of you, if you are comparatively free on August 16th, we will be having the IIMC Foundation Day lecture, and that would be delivered by Madhav Nalapad, the new director of Sunday Guardian. He will be talking about journalism in the age of fake news and post-truth. And I cordially invite all of you. Once again, a hearty welcome to, all of you to Indian Institute of Mass Communication, and I can assure you that, and I just requested Sri that all the photographs which came from this competition, we should have an exhibition at IIMC, so that will give you an opportunity to visit IIMC once again. I am really delighted that Sri took this opportunity to talk about looking at culture through the lens. This is very important, that looking at culture, because that is one way of, of course, writing books, writing a lot of blogs, articles, that certainly helps. But photograph is something that makes sense even to the illiterate, somebody who does not understand language. Even to them, a photograph can make a lot of difference. I'm sure that this is the first step in a long journey. I wish Indus all the very best, and assure once again of all cooperation on the part of Indian Institute of Mass Communication. Thank you so much.